give people a minute to come on.
Who are you?
I am Herman Mudgett.
What are you doing?
I am sculpting a mummy. This mummy. Potentially a fruity mummy. A fruity, yummy mummy.
Fruity, yummy mummy.
We just started this guy up last stream, so it's got about 2 hours worth of work into it. If you don't count the, I don't know, 10 minutes or 15 minutes it took to do the armature substructure. I am reasonably happy with the direction it's taking. The disembodied voice off camera is my wife.
Hello.
Maker of not less weird ceramic stuff, but more designed ceramic stuff.
Different weird.
Different weird.
I would say less weird.
Prettier weird.
Sure.
And also websites. Not today.
Yeah.
Not today, Satan.
Not today, Satan. Today was a day. Oh, Shred's here.
Hello, Shred.
I was telling my client about the toe bowls today.
I do enjoy those.
Also hot, yes. We eat with those bowls like every day.
A couple of times a week, bare
Yes,
minimum at
every
least.
day, every chance I get. I love them.
How's the sound, Shred? We were trying out some new settings. Trying to get the volume up a bit.
Because he's a mumbler.
I'm not a mumbler.
You are a mumbler.
I have an inside voice.
She says sounds good.
Well, that's good. So, what's new with you and the salon?
She says she's down to 4 days.
Down to 4 days. That's good, I'm guessing. Rest time after the ridiculous holidays. At least I hope that's good, not just lack of business.
Rest and trying to get workshops going.
Ooh, workshops. That's
What kind of workshops?
Yeah.
He did. I think that was directed at us.
Oh, wait, what kind of work? We're doing workshops. Wait, what?
Yeah, well,
wait,
we were
wait,
talking.
yeah, we were.
Wait, what? What? Wait.
No, that's cool.
We were talking about pumpkins.
Yes. Well, yeah. I still have a number of those if we wanted to do it that way, but Shred's welcome to just paint them too, or paint some of them. Whatever works out. Um, yeah, I can't remember. Someone was inquiring about mold making workshops. Not that that would be a good one to try.
Is that the ceramics person we met at?
Yeah.
Punk Rock?
The one that kind of just disappeared or doesn't do Instagram very often
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, that's too bad.
That's fine. Not a mold making workshop is not.
She says, I really need to work on the space so that they can actually happen.
Yeah, I mean,
We understand that.
yeah. Our space is pretty pretty, we'll call it utilitarian. Dungeness.
Yes.
Squalid. We're gonna go
There
with
you go.
squalid.
It's messy in here.
Can it be squalid chic though?
No. I
No.
mean, it could be, but it's not.
But it's not. It's just squalid. Okay. Yeah. We're always down for. Well, I say always, always except for around September, October.
Yeah.
Then we are down for nothing. That is a rough corridor for the amount of stuff that has to get done. Oh, actually, I don't know if Shred had seen the.
Payne's here.
Hey, Payne.
She says hello. Hi, bird.
I molded this bad boy up on Monday. You can see it's taken a little bit of battle damage from the molding process.
It looks like he's got a skull cap.
He does, well,
I mean, he kind of does, right?
he used to have a little hat. But I actually just poured the first one of those today. So we will see how that comes out at some point after the stream.
I'm gonna move this guy. Book.
Yeah. Shred has a painting that I did of the creature when we were doing some show before I started doing sculpture demos at shows. I was doing painting occasionally.
I think I said sweet.
Yes, Payne has an extensive collection of my crazy shit. That was an unusual sound. I wonder what that was.
Payne says, indeed I do.
I can't remember what the worst thing I have at Payne's house is.
Shred says she has your leg doctor.
Yep.
That one's cool. I like that one a lot.
Yes, that one was fun to work on when I was doing sculpture in water-based clay more. That one was good fun. Jen has an absolutely horrific He-Man.
Payne says probs the old yokai hag with the long breasts.
Okay, yeah, that might could be a good
The dangling
candidate.
rat is so good.
Dangling rat. Oh yeah. I am amazed that is still in just one piece.
Why?
Because I paid no attention to like delicacy when I made that. I think I made that for a contest of some variety. It didn't go anywhere. I can't remember why I initially sculpted that, but yeah, it was It was a whole thing. And it is... That is a very delicate piece. But that one shreds problem now.
Oh, she says, I may have had to reattach the rat once.
That's fine.
I don't remember returning my rat.
It had I put one on its belt, I believe. It's been a while.
Oh.
It was just attached by like just the tiniest little bit of tail.
The plague doctor has a dangling rat on it.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I thought we were talking about something else entirely.
No.
Okay.
No, I have not sculpted that many horrors. Maybe I have. I don't know. I have a real difficult time keeping track of all this crazy stuff that I've made.
It's in my china cabinet. I'm so scared to touch it.
I mean, it's all fine.
So,
Stuff
what
is
is it made
tragic.
out of?
It's just I believe that one is actually a low fire earthenware clay. Tonight's beverage is a Selection Cola. Part of the Buy Canadian initiative
Yes.
and out of a Ninja Turtle.
Paint says, then I have that rando fat sculpy baby with the weird muffin top with actual sparse human hair attached to his irradiated looking head.
Oh yeah, that thing was extra scrotumy and disgusting looking. Yeah, that was pretty horrific. We've teamed up on a few horrific things too. The last Halloween project
He has
with
super gross teeth as well.
the weird spidery arms and all that webbing. That was kind of nuts.
She says, oh yeah. So are you working on your, I don't know, lobster hand guy tonight?
Boltan.
Am I dead strange?
Yes. Yes, the undead Doctor Strange.
No, she says her hands are too messed up tonight.
Pharmacy work is rough on the digits.
All dry. So what are you doing now?
I am kind of refining some of this bandaginess because I do want the bandages to be a real part of this sculpt, not just kind of a couple of little things. I want bandagey mummy.
Paint says they keep popping open. Might be missing a layer or two of skin in a few spots as well.
Yeah, that sounds right. The lizard hands are real. How does that
Oh,
sound
shut up.
on cam?
How does what?
The tool striking the...
Oh, I don't know. I don't have that window open.
Hopefully it's not too bad when that happens.
Not that I want you to do it again, but do it again. Oh, no,
It's not too bad. Sometimes those high-pitched
It's hard to tell.
sounds really pick up on mic.
Sounds like you're raising a toast. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Okay, I would assume it's probably picking up louder than we'd think.
Yeah. Oh, it's picking up. I'm sure it's picking up louder than we would like.
This may shock you, but I am not a sound engineer. When it comes to audio stuff, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be something going on weird with our settings.
Well, Reese did tell me that I should download the programs or whatever for the microphone, which I never did because
Okay.
lazy. And I guess that gives you more settings and stuff, so that might.
Well, the mic, as far as I can tell, is functioning really nicely. Thank you, Reese and Chris, for the loan of this lovely new mic. No, it seems that seems to be functioning fine. It's the
It says I don't think the mic sounds that bad.
no, it's the output volume is
Yeah, as long
a
as
bit low.
he's loud enough and people can hear him, then it's all good.
The OBS software has a setting labeled for output gain, but it picks up a terrible hiss.
She says she can hear you much better than the first two.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, I don't know why. The output gain really shouldn't affect the sound that's being picked up much. But you can actually see when you mess with it, it changes the, like you can see it on the little visualizer for the mic. So something's weird. I'm a challenge for audio.
You are a challenge.
I tend to be. There's a part of me that wants to experiment with some bandages over the face a bit more. Even though I quite like some aspects of the face, and I want to keep some good zombie meat in this mummy.
At least you're mumbling markedly less on stream than expected.
I'm not mumbling that much less on stream than expected. I'm speaking the same way I ever usually do. Show you mumbling.
I mean, you do. Shred says she has to finish cleaning the shop. I'll pop back later if you're still streaming.
Yep, we'll be streaming until about 10.
We'll be here for yeah, what he said. We'll be here till 10.
I'd say have fun cleaning the shop, but cleaning is never fun.
Yeah.
Godspeed. Thanks for popping in, Shred.
Yeet. Payne called you a liar, by the way.
Slanderous. Slanderous.
So, Payne, he did tell you that we were planning on coming down next week?
Yeah,
I'm
I
assuming
told him.
yes. We're gonna brave the borders, though. From what I've heard, at least the border crossing itself should be quick because nobody's crossing the border right now.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either, but we'll see.
I don't imagine the volumes are that tremendously different. I think when we usually went, it was much.
She says good luck. Thanks.
I am sure it will be fine.
Yeah, probably.
It's going to be interesting to see what the prices and exchange rate are like. The exchange rate hasn't really gone anywhere. Ooh, drop this. I normally like these where they are, but I realize they're making a bit of a squeak. Should prevent that in future.
Sure.
So yeah, that should be a thing.
Oh, me too. Fuck yeah.
You can ignore the noises. That's just my wife making herself comfortable.
Yep.
So how did cookies work out? Did you finally get those put away in a reasonable-ish time?
Oh, so Jen said, so I saw you name the last one Yummy Mummy. Will this one actually be a cohort for the breakfast greatness?
I mean, a little bit.
And to answer your other question, not even close.
Hmm?
And
No.
to answer your other question, not even close.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Yummy Mummy is going to be a standalone, like, only the Yummy Mummy, or just a mummy that can also be yummy, depending on the paint job. Because I don't know how many people care about Yummy Mummy.
People haven't really requested it.
No, not really.
She says she effed up the recipe, so she had to redo it.
Jesus fuck.
She said, I mean, make it fruity colored, and it could be.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make at least a few of them fruity colored.
Dude, I was making frosting at 6 a.m.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds exactly on brand. Speaking of on brand, how's your Halloween costume going? In the event that anybody's watching this later on YouTube, that was a joke based on it being just about Valentine's Day and my friend pretty much always being late with getting her Halloween costume done.
She said he could be a good candidate for some Sofubi style colorways. And then she says she's working on it.
Yeah, I do like the older Yummy Mummy version where it's sort of a base of kind of a pink purple with yellow accents in the wraps. It is a weirdly lazy design.
She said, yeah, that could look good.
So I'm gonna, if I come up with some fun cereal specific, I had considered like a little kind of spoon ankh kind of motif on at some point, but I want a nice horrific mummy. I want a nice horrific mummy. One thing I did pull from the cartoon design is having the eyes kind of in a void a bit, because in the old cartoon design, actually all the cartoon designs, it seems to be consistent that there's basically no mummy in the Yummy Mummy. It's just wraps and darkness with eyes floating in there somewhere. Which that I kind of liked. I will give him that. Yeah, right now I'm just trying to get some flavor in these bandages. Some movement going on. So what is when you do get back to the Boltan sculpt, do you have any idea like what the final form is going to be? Are we
What?
are we thinking like latex molding, or what are we thinking?
He has to absorb like King Joe and bird on first. The project that I'm working on tonight is doing a website design over because somehow I managed to not save it.
You're kidding me.
And that's the kind of day that I'm having.
Yes. Yeah, you don't give up on a project often, but
She says, yeah, props squishy latex dealy.
squishy latex dealy. So, from what I remember of the design, he's a little spindly, so when you do get around to doing some more sculpting on him, maybe think about thickening him up a little bit for ease of latex, or possibly...
Son of a bitch.
What's the matter?
Heater turned off. She says still need to figure out the Mothra one as well at some point.
Yes.
Son of a bitch. That's the kind of day I'm having. That's an awful one.
Yeah, the Mothra one, I would have to look at that again. We should do another like mold making thing. Just quick and dirty.
So I might need to put like a building behind him or something to make him the right thickness.
Well, I mean, you definitely could do the old Roman marble sculpture kind of propping thing, or like a chibi him up a little bit would be another option.
Still have to fix her legs though.
Still has to fix her legs. On Mothra? Yeah.
Hi.
Do you want me to take a swing at it?
No,
All
not
right.
right now. Mothra.
We're experiencing technical difficulties with my wife's comfort fan. Or her tiny heater. So, apologies for covering that with my hand. Trying to get some decent, like, concavity to some of these wraps, because it will make them show this cloth nicely.
I gotta remember that I have to check the video every once in a while.
Yes, you do.
Though I'm sure Jen will tell us if the camera cuts out again.
As long as you can see the chat, yes.
Yes. No, I can see the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, you missed last time. I wasn't paying attention. I was doing something else, and the camera pointed at him, cut out for like 5 minutes.
I mean, that camera doesn't matter.
Come on, good at my job.
We don't need to see the.
I mean,
This is where the money is.
truth.
I gotta say that Selection Cola holds up.
Yeah, you like it?
It's got a almost like a citrus, like bordering on grapefruit kind of
Okay.
flavor. Just some flavor notes that are more fruity than like your more popular brand name colas.
Right.
Not that I don't enjoy a Pepsi or a Coke. I'm a soda aficionado, and I have no problem admitting that. So additionally, I did put in a little bit more work on the shock monster from the first couple of streams. I'm hoping to maybe mold that as the next monster mug. Some good reference for draperies like this.
Don't you still have to mold your scarecrow too, or did he get made into something else?
No, I still have to mold him eventually. I have to mold. I have several pieces in the sculpture area, just waiting on finishing / molding. I think I have I have currently 8 pieces in some semblance of finished.
Are the conjoined cherubs still around too?
Yep. The conjoined twin piece is still around. I have a semi-secret zombie project that I'm working on. Gray alien. A Pennywise, like a Tim Curry Pennywise in the style of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Lots of stuff.
She says, "Ooh, nice."
Mostly, all of it mostly finished.
Forgot that one.
Yeah, some of that may not make it to full production, but I suspect the Scarecrow at least will. This is a tool that I don't utilize that often, but it's working out great for these sort of flattened area wraps. It's a smooshed wrapped wire rake, like a fine rake made by the old Monstrosity shop.
What camera are you trying to show it to right now?
This one.
Okay.
Probably not working.
You might want
great.
to do the that thing.
Do the makeup tutorial
Get up
thing?
close. Do the makeup tutorial thing.
Da-na-na.
Okay, you need to get right up. Put it there. There you go. There you go.
Get right in there.
Nice. Okay. One flat side and one bump out round.
Yeah, it has a bit of a flat. This is really hard to do with.
No, I know. Okay, so
Especially because it's
I can
apparently.
see your face, by the way.
Yeah.
You are not right in front of the camera. Nope. Oh. It's completely off. Yeah. No. Can you see this?
Kinda.
Okay.
Quit assing around
So
with that.
the camera pointing at him right now is
It's a
my
back.
old phone,
back
but it's
cell
the
phone
back
camera.
on the phone. It's not the front camera because the front camera sucks. So he can't actually see himself when he's doing that, which is why his aim is so wrong.
Also for comedy.
Yes. I mean, you did have it, so he's half-assing it. Got it. Yep, exactly.
That's the only setting I have. Yeah, I should look up what the designation is for this tool.
What? Designation.
Yeah, it's one of the old Monstrosity tools that he makes fairly regularly. I think it's got a number name.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a nice medium size dual-ended rake. But it works an absolute treat for this kind of slightly concave flat shape.
By the way, I did check out those weird Q-tip shaped textured tools you were talking about with Chuck Curiosities. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're not something that I think I would personally use.
She asks if they're all British made.
These are. The old Monstrosity Shop tools are all handmade by one crazy motherfucker in the UK. Yeah, if you don't follow him on Instagram, definitely should do that. It's Old Monstrosity Shop on Instagram and I believe Etsy. And
She says, okay, he seems to make super good quality stuff though.
yes. Oh, it's the highest.
Despite the Britishness?
Despite the Britishness.
Is that what we're implying?
Well, I mean, I suppose when it comes to cars, British engineering isn't exactly.
She says, no, I meant they'd have to be imported.
Yes, they do
Yes.
have to be imported.
Nothing wrong with being British.
Nope, they're not inexpensive. But they are very well made. And pretty. Yeah, I've seen a couple of little videos that he's done where he's taken big weights and hung them from the loops on the tools. It deforms the loop a little bit, but
Says, oh, well, okay, I guess it kicked me?
kicked you.
Kicked you? What kicked you? The room.
Have you been banned from chat for your anti-British sentiment?
Ha! That's weird. I'm not seeing anything.
To indicate that she's gone, or
Nope.
to
I mean, she's still chatting with me. So.
Oh.
Or us.
Oh, like she
Came
can't.
back in.
She can't watch. She can't watch.
Possibly. It told me I was typing too fast. Oh, again?
Typing too fast.
Huh.
I mean, you do type weirdly fast,
Huh.
but
What's it doing?
that seems like an unusual thing that for Twitch to care about.
Probably an anti-spam bot tool.
Oh, probably.
Maybe.
Maybe it's too many messages right in a row from some setting. Who knows?
Suspicious user activity.
I mean, pain is extremely suspicious.
Yeah. I don't know how any of this works. I only pretend I'm good at tech stuff. Someone's off. more pronounced wrinkles on his forehead?
I'm just blending them in a little bit.
Mm.
I'm not sure.
That looks like a hard nostril to get a hookup.
Yes, it would be. Yeah, he's got a really weird bump on the nose where the end of the bony portion before the cartilage collapsed that I'm kind of digging. Looks funky. No, there will probably be a fair amount of bouncing around the sculpt this evening. Just trying to get some idea.
Some idea
Of just what what it's going to look like in spots, how the bandages are going to look, how ratty I want them, refining shapes that are going to jump out to me as I sculpt. I'm still in a very loose sculpting phase, so there will very likely be some bigger changes as well. I keep thinking about breaking this jaw over. I might do that. A little quick surgery.
Hey, potato.
Say potato.
Hi, potato. Yeah. So.
There we are.
Is your plan to offset it slightly?
Yes. Just deciding how far, or even if I want to lower it.
Yeah.
apparently the cat needs attention.
Yep, cat needs attention.
The other cat needs attention.
Huh?
The other cat from rather than the usual cat. Let's see.
Tates. Here's working again. Yay!
All right. I think I like that.
Cool. When you make changes like that, how much does it affect the inner wall areas?
On this one, not at all. This is the.
I don't need that anymore.
You know what? What the hell? I can show you.
I get that you'll probably fill it in slightly for molding.
Oh yeah, definitely. So just for giggles. That's the original.
Can you pick it up and tilt it around a bit? I didn't mean
this
that.
one?
I meant the guy. Yeah.
So this is the depth of the original sort of armature-like piece that I built. All that chin and stuff was added after. But I hit and go through my little initial rough-in armature type sculpt all the time. It's not even the least bit unusual. You just add more soft clay in.
I think you moved it up a bit.
Moved it up a bit.
The mouth.
Oh, that's fine.
About a half-inch on average wall thickness.
Yeah, if give
Do you
or
mean for the
take.
finished product or for the sculpt?
Well, the finished product, the wall thickness will be completely down to how long the clay dwells in the mold.
Sculpt. She meant sculpt.
Yeah, the sculpt itself, I don't have a real set specific, as long as it's enough that that it's kind of stable-ish, and I'm not poking, I'm not pushing in that stuff as I sculpt, then I'm fine with it.
Oh.
In there. But yeah, it's a very flexible way to sculpt. You don't have to worry about hitting any wire or anything like that. The only I guess limitation that I've found is if you were to have a thinner type sculpt with arms and stuff coming off, if when you add the warm clay to it, it'll soften that right up, and then it won't function very well as an armature. So for more delicate, like full figure things, you probably need a little bit more. But for like a portrait bust type deal that has a reasonable amount of mass to it, this is more than adequate.
the same potato song stuck in my head again.
I thought you might.
That look reminds me of the cover of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a zombie on the cover of the Monster Boy?
Hmm?
Or
No,
mummy?
no, the film, the stuff.
Oh. With the elongated chin?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a guy sort of with a really big expression with goop coming out of his mouth.
Got it.
The titular stuff.
Got it.
In
Got
fact.
it. We've been watching Basket Case. So we watched.
And the Basket Case sequels.
Yeah, we're up to 3.
Which I believe is all they made.
No, I think there was at least one more, but there also was one that was not called Basket Case, it was something else.
That's news to me.
Like with the same guy. I'll look it up.
Yes. I don't know if the Basket Case sequels were always like originally Troma releases, or if that is just the prints that Tubi had available. But yes, do like a bit
Brain
of
Damage.
brain damage.
Yeah, so there's a movie called Brain Damage,
Okay.
and he's the guy from the main guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is credited as Man with Basket,
Oh, so it's like he
plays himself
more of a
with
walk-on
basket
type thing.
or something. It might just be a nod to Basket Case.
Yeah, I suspect so. I mean, Basket Case is a complete, that is almost the definition of a cult classic.
Yeah. This is the same. Yeah, okay. So the one neighbor lady.
Okay,
You see
the
her
one neighbor
in this
lady.
picture? Right here? Huh? So
Yeah.
she's in this other one too.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I forget what her name was, but was it Cece? I think in the original.
I don't know, but they have
The
somebody.
hooker with a heart of gold.
Yeah. Somebody is credited as toilet victim.
Okay, any movie that has a credit for toilet victim, I am down to watch. I will watch absolutely anything where someone is credited as toilet victim.
Okay, so yeah. Dwayne.
Yes. Yeah, Basket Case is not a...
Yeah, okay, I guess there's just the 3, and then whatever that other Brain Damage one
It's
is.
not a movie that I know a ton about.
I mean, we did watch Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead.
Well, yeah. The Japanese spatter comedy is a severely underappreciated genre of film.
Love it.
Yeah, I want to say Tokyo Gore Police is probably like my favorite still. Just for the
Jen says
weird
that's her
factor.
fave too.
get some more really good gory detail. Some good, I don't want to use the word details for what's happening now. Some good gory passages on this kind of thing. Pastiche? Does that work better for you? Areas? Things? Some nice goopy bidness? I don't know. It feels appropriate for the yummy mummy to have a good amount of attention paid to the mouth and the teeth and the tongue.
Yeah.
It just sort of feels thematically appropriate. Yes, we're still very, very deep in the decision-making phase of this sculpt. Nothing here that's for sure gonna stay. I'm enjoying this little moment happening here with that twist. I think I'm going to accentuate that a bit. My misspent art degree kicking in with this sort of thing. Feels serial mummy appropriate. Or inappropriate.
Yeah.
Trying to be better about turning the sculpt away from camera while I'm working on it. Probably not very successfully trying to avoid doing that, but at least I'm trying. That's a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
B- for effort.
Sure.
Let's get some indications of some teeth down here.
Payne says, I like the soft indentation on what would be his right side of the cheek.
This guy over here, yes. Yeah, I like the way that reinforces this kind of S-curve, messed up area.
Yeet.
I may have some concerns about how soft and goopy this area is looking. See if I can get that reading nice dry mummy.
Mm. Gonna be no drool this time?
No drool this time. Certainly no drool. I don't feel like mummies have drool.
Okay.
Mummies definitely have the pasties. Maybe if I do when I do a fruit brute, and get him nice and drooly. That seems appropriate. Nice slobbery fruit brute. Why does that sound like a sex move? She totally gave me the slobbery fruit brute.
You could even make him into a canoptic jar.
I could. Gotta say, that does not feel like a likely move.
Fruit brute is definitely on a registry or two.
That's why they don't talk about fruit brute anymore.
Yep.
That would be kind of... I want to say that would be weirdly on brand for my my sculptures at this point, but I don't know if that's a brand I want to get behind after the Booberry child murderer from M thing.
You are Herman Mudgett.
Yes I am. What of it?
Lean into it? Payne says probably not. Also true enough.
Yeah, we don't want to make that. We don't want to make that the brand, I don't think.
Do we not? I feel it's too late.
Basically all my characters are some form of P. Diddy-ness. No, we're not. We're not.
Herman Mudgett I am okay with associating with. P. Diddy, not so much.
Not as much. What is it about? Comedy, tragedy plus time. So this is kind of fun, sculpting an area of the teeth that one doesn't often see. Get some nice lingual surface action.
It says, to be fair, Herman Mudgett would probs have sourced his supplies at Costco too.
Maybe.
I mean, a murder castle probably needs a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Truth.
who doesn't want a murder castle? I mean, that doesn't even... doesn't even seem like a red flag. I feel like everybody wants a murder castle.
That doesn't seem like a red flag.
No. No,
Okay.
everyone wants a murder castle. Not everyone has a murder castle.
Eh.
But everybody wants one. You're gonna tell me you don't want a murder castle? I don't believe you. Okay. I feel like we're getting somewhere. We're starting to take shape, idea-wise. Where's my rounded tool? The yummy mummy design is going to be tongue forward, I think.
You could do a brand pairing with some kind of fruity Bacardi type booze on a signature drink.
I could. I don't see that. I don't see Bacardi jumping on that. I personally like to keep my fruit and booze separate elements.
The fun of that.
There's no reason why you can't add lots of fruity things to your booze. The fruity infused alcohols are
Because
usually pretty
you'd eat
abysmal.
an entire vodka watermelon just to have the melon.
Yeah, this is true. As long as it's real melon. The watermelon vodka on its own is not. Well, that's not the worst offender. I think the worst offender that I've had was birthday cake
That's not fruit.
flavored Smirnoff.
It's not fruit.
It's not fruit. but it was a
Just as gross.
yeah. That
We
was
used to have that all the time.
that stuff was a crime. That was
The hell did we put it in?
ille-
Orange juice, I think.
illegal. Federal prison, straight to federal prison. Hate crime.
Not a hate crime. Fruity girly, fruity fruit. Fruity fruit fruit.
I will make the exception for the sweeter Alco Pop, fruit forward, like wine coolery type things. Those don't hit quite as wrong, but the flavored vodkas are usually pretty horrendous.
A strawberry daiquiri with an umbrella in it?
I mean there's a difference between, not that a daiquiri is my go-to, but there's a difference between sort of a blended fruit and liquor punch kind of thing. Actually, what is the booze behind a daiquiri? Is it rum? I can't remember whether it's rum or vodka. I can't imagine it's gin. I mean, a margarita is a good example, though. It's lime juice and tequila.
Yes,
and
Payne says, are you actually asking me? I think he was asking us in general. It's rum.
it's rum.
It's rum.
Yeah. Not the worst. Those buckets daiquiri that you can get, the just add rum sort of thing from the supermarket. That's not a good time. That's a badness. And I've had a vodka slushy.
An alcoholic slushy is great.
Okay, so what do we got? 2 incisors.
Are his eyes likely to stay similar to how they are now? Or are you planning to add wraps around the upper and lower lid areas?
I'm thinking they're going to stay as similar to this as I can make them. There's going to need to be a little bit of filling in to make molding possible. But I like the idea of the eyes kind of floating in a space. Not really like having lids for this guy. may be a bit of a technical challenge when it comes to the molding process, but we'll see. I do want a little bit more in here, though. Definitely going to be some areas in this that are going to be a challenge. Well, there are, as we're going right now, we've got a pretty strong area in here that's going to be prone to undercut, and the eyes are going to be very very particular in terms of the direction that mold has to come off, because they are set so deeply.
Right.
So I'm not going to have as much wiggle room. I may end up
17 part mold, go.
No, I try and keep my molds to round about a 4-part. I think if there's anything that
What's the limit? 5? No, 4.
I might stretch to a 5-part if it made enough sense to. Part of the reason is if there's anything that I can't get out of like a 4-part mold, that is likely to be a fairly delicate piece. Like the more, so like, let's say I wanted to stick a horn on this guy. Easiest way to do that would be just pull a separate mold, and then I can have that kind of thinner base going on all I want, and it would work fine. The only downside is anytime you have a part like that that sticks out that much, that's just wanting to break off. So if I can conceptualize it with like a stubbier, shorter type thing, make sure that it's inset and has a good like area where it's joining really well, that'll make it more robust as an object. So trying to do like even the eyes, if I wanted to bring those out further and really have them protruding, I could do that. I could mold them as separate pieces and lay them in, but if I can't get the mold to work with them in place, that's because they're going to be in a position that makes them more delicate, if that makes any sense. It's not like the joining process is a problem in and of itself or anything. It's just if there's a part that needs to be molded separately, by its nature, it's going to be not as strong. because that means you have an undercuts or something. Unless it were like, I've noticed, I think Turkey Merc does some multi-part molds with like skulls or whatever, where the whole lower jaw would be attached as a separate piece. And his look like they're going to be pretty good in terms of like not hanging out too much. I think the reason why he does that is to have a cleaner interior form on his mugs. So that it's less, the interior form that gets drink on it is going to be less complex. Is my suspicion why he's doing that, because I've seen some of his stuff that is obviously just one piece when it comes out of the mold, and it's like he can really build a mold. So it's not a lack of ability to make the mold work, I'm assuming. Can't prove it. I don't know him personally or anything. I haven't asked.
I mean, his stuff looks pretty solid.
Oh yeah, it's some of the best, the height of the art form, at least in my opinion. I think his work is phenomenal.
Kind of short, like rocks glass style.
Or
Last ones I saw were those stubby skull mugs he did.
yeah, well, I mean, he does his tendency is to have more of a coffee mug type shape, more of a coffee mug form factor with the handles and stuff. But I think that's just that's an aesthetic concern more than anything. My work tends to get tall. I think that's just where I am aesthetically. Yeah, that's feeling okay. Just attempting to observe the sculpt on camera. Things look a little bit different on camera than they do when you're staring at them all night, so it's always a good thing to give them a peeky peek, take pictures and take a step back every so often if you've got the opportunity to do that. There it is.
Will this be similar volume to the adolescent deformed kung fu amphibians?
I don't know. I think it will be. I think it will be slightly less. But that's a pretty rough estimate. It's really hard to calculate volume on a complex shape like this. I feel like the thinner neck area is going to limit volume, but I don't know, like this little area might hold a bit of drink. Make up for some of it. Also will depend on where exactly I decide to put the hole in the top and how big I decide to make it.
Reddit wants it a little bigger. Reddit wants it a little bigger. That part could be a nice place to grasp it though, like the tube neck zombie.
Yeah, this should be a good holding drink. Let's see. I'm not. Missing some. Bandagey-ness on this side. He wants a little bit more. Working. My director is indicating that I need to talk more. Just trying to get some more interest going in the bandages on this side. This side I'm reasonably at peace with. Bandages are coming. If I was really smart, as a person having to make these later on, I would think harder about where my color areas are going to change.
How many sessions would you say on average go into one of these sculpts for the main part? I don't mean like molding and stuff because I know that takes a while.
Like if I was doing it on stream, the average for on stream time is like 3, but I've only done the one, so it's a low confidence. If you're asking about like how long does a sculpt take, if I weren't on camera doing something like this, I mean it's still extremely variable, but if if I had a good idea of what I was doing, and nothing went terribly wrong, and I didn't decide to change my mind a bunch of times, I could probably hammer out a reasonable sculpt in 12, 14 hours kind of range. I've done the bulk of a sculpt in a day. I'm fairly used to working fairly long stretches. I've largely finished a couple of pieces over the course of a show before, and that's 2 to 3, 5, 6 hour days with distractions and other things.
Okay, cool.
It's also not unusual to work on a piece for weeks.
Why would something take weeks?
Changing my mind on stuff, doing resculpts, just not having long periods at a time to work on it. Working an hour or two here or there.
Sometimes near shows you have a lot of production to make, right?
Yeah. Yep. There's a lot of time goes into casting and molding and painting, running the kiln, packing for shows. Social media takes its time.
Yes, it does.
Try not to snag things off camera to work on them, but I want to get underneath this ear.
Good thing business study is all up in those SEOs. Sometimes.
Sometimes. SEO is difficult, I would assume. Keeping the bots happy isn't all that is important.
Feed the algorithm.
Yeah. Do. Yeah, this is starting to be something.
This is starting to be something?
Starting to be something.
It hasn't been something this
Has
whole
not been
time?
something this whole time. It takes time to get a sculpt like working. unless it's a real exceptional case.
Soon he'll be a full-fledged serial killer.
Maybe. Oh, we'll see. We will see what happens, but my confidence is growing, I guess. My displeasure with the overall design is lessening. It's important to be willing to let things develop, I think. I think that's a weird aspect of a lot of, especially like creature design and stuff like that. People are surprised at how fast you can get a sculpture done, kind of thing. Some of the people that are good sculptors for, film industry and stuff like that, they could easily knock out a sculpt in an afternoon of work. Maybe not a monster clay. That's inherently a slightly slower medium, but if you're working with wet clay or a water-based clay, you could knock out something reasonable in just a few hours. But that comes with long periods of practice, but also like generally by the time you get to sculpting something, you've been living with that in design phases or concept phases, or thinking about it for days and weeks ahead of time, because that's just kind of the nature of the thing. It's not just one person sitting down doing a thing. There's a lot of teamwork and having to figure out with directors and head design departments and stuff like that. So by the time you get around to pushing mud around, you've already been thinking about this stuff for a bit. And if say you were called on to do like a talk or a demo or something, you do something that you know fairly well, something that you can knock out relatively quickly. I've seen some pretty fast sculpting on the social media front, which is a thing, I suppose. I've seen a few people that seem to do it for speed is the goal. I'm doing it for the algorithm sake. I'm not as fond of that. Party trick style sculpting.
I like the customization of your monsters that make them specifically yours. They give nods to the nostalgic versions, but have their own look. So, like, your mummy doesn't look like the Iron Maiden Eddie mummy, or have the bandages look too much like Andre Toulon's from Puppet Master.
No, I do try and keep a bit of an original voice in my sculpting. Not a bad idea to do something with a little bit more heavily referenced once in a while, just to keep the observation skills up. I think I will mostly always try and fit something portrait-y or a fairly direct to reference area at least a couple of times a year. Just to stay in the habit. Make sure I can still do it. Let's see. I'm not thrilled about this area.
Which area?
This right in the front, this sort of suit jacket looking little bit.
Says like with the Gord Johnson look.
Yes, yeah. Tor Gordson was a good fun project. I did I've done modified Christopher Lee, modified Peter Cushing.
Maybe needs some spacing between the wraps.
Yeah, I might squeeze some space in. I
think that might break up the space a little bit.
Yeah, that could do. Kind of thinking about re-looking at some of the anatomical shapes under the wrap are starting to get lost. I sort of like this sense of one shoulder up and one down that's happening in here. So we might think about deepening this area a little. Get a little more of that neck. To happen. And then a little definition between the chest and shoulder. And if I can get some sense of tension into the wraps through here, that would be fantastic.
He needs one of those ace bandage clips.
Just a little bit. I think I've got an idea of what I want to do. I think I'm gonna get a little looser, a little sloppier in here, where there's some slack in the bandage. So we've got some deeper folding. And contrast that, if I can, with some more tightness and tension in here. This is gotta go. This is not. This is not working. This is not working. This is wrong. It has to go.
I believe Mrs. Border calls those little wormy dealies.
Yes, well, we'll get into the little wormy dealies. We'll get into some teeny tiny wormy dealies when we get back into the face proper. We get properly in there, get all up in it. But we're gonna get some slack. Try and contrast some things specific to this cloth. Been a while, but there was a book on dynamic invented cloth and drapery, written by Byrne Hogarth, I believe, that I spent some time with. but it's been a minute. But just the idea of conveying movement with clothing and drapery. It can be pretty valuable.
Don't think I have that one. I have one of his anatomy books, but not the fabric.
Yeah. He was never my favorite author for that sort of thing. But definitely useful, especially for more of the kind of comic book and working not from observation. Definitely some good stuff in there. A little more like prescriptive, this is how you do this thing. Minutes. Almost time to go. Okay, I'm gonna just try and at least get some notes in. So a lot of what I'm going to be doing in here is contrasting these sort of flowing shapes with some room in them where they're loose and flowing, and then some more tight, directional, straight lines to indicate where the bandages are pulling tight over forms. It can even indicate some movements that I want to get to next time, so I don't forget over the weekend. Yeah, I like that better. I do like that better.
She says it already looks better.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I don't totally not know what I'm doing. You know, I feel 80% good about this. Let's give him a spin before we bail.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. I hope.
Just need to get the other 30%.
Well, I'll never get the other 30%, but that's fine. Always room to grow. Is that a fat joke? What?
That's you won't know why that's funny.
Wait, god damn it. Is that a math joke? Demi Payne.
Alright, 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Alright.
Did you say Thursday?
Today's Thursday.
Yes.
So we'll pick back up on the Tuesday with more mummy action. Provided I don't
with Hermit in the pie.
provided I don't forget that Tuesday is Tuesday, like I almost forgot that Thursday is Thursday.
Yeah, I gotta keep on top of him. Full sculpting stream as usual. Yep. Great leaders.